So we back on the Minecraft. Last time I was talking about why I despise skyscrapers, but today it's gonna be a little tamer, right? Um, so this was an idea I had a while back. It was about thinking. I was like, how can we come together as humanity, as a human society, right? We are so divided as a people, which is crazy. We're all people. We all the same species. So why are we so divided? We got a hell of racism, sexism, misogyny. Reddit versus 4chan. Why are we as a people? Hella war. We divided as a people. So I'm thinking, what's the issue here? Why are we so distant, so close in our nature, in our DNA? We all got a brain. We all got a spleen. The fuck you mean? But I digress. So I was thinking, how do we close this divide? I said, how do we bring back Pangaea? For those of you who don't know, for those of you who haven't gotten to fifth grade geography, fifth grade world history, Pangaea was when, instead of looking like this, the Earth was like this. This is North, South America, Antarctica, Australia, Asia, Europe, on one mass with the ocean surrounding it. But now, us. Now, this is us, divided by oceans. And so I thought of different ways to bridge this gap. And so the first way, extremely powerful magnets. Now essentially, this one's gonna be a little wonky, because it's like, how do we make magnet that won't attract like the metal in my blood, the metal in the metal in my nose, the metal in my phone. I don't know. But with enough engineering, we could completely. With enough engineering, that won't be a problem. Now, I haven't thought about the engineering, but that's for another time. This idea needed to be released to the public. So, right, these magnets, so I'm doing a motion with my hands. Fuck, it's kind of hard to explain, but essentially these magnets will attract to each other, and they'll pull, they'll pull, and then eventually they'll start moving in towards each other. And these things are fucking anchored in, like these things are deep inside the earth. Like they screwed into the tectonic plate for all, so they move in the earth with them. So while these magnets are like, oh my god, I gotta get to this other magnet, they bring in the earth with them. So when they finally, they're getting closer and closer. The earth's all the land is getting closer and closer until they all come together. And then we back to this, with all the lands all together and shit. Yippee! Low key, I think we need to somehow laser North Korea We need to laser it off. You know, just cut a piece around like North Korea's border, put a magnet in there, and then have like 50,000 helicopters come in with magnets, pick up North Korea, and then find a nice place in the Pacific, you know, for it to just sit, because there's some fuck shit going on over there. And you know, all the cool people from North Korea, we start, you know, doing psych evaluations, and we're like, all right, you cool, you could come with us. But like all them, you know, all them fucking them motherfuckers on that fuck shit, they could stay over there. The other thing was, you know, have like a key, right? Let's just say this is like a little key. Like, I don't know if you've ever had these braces before, but there's braces where you put like the wire across your teeth, and you would have to pretend like I'm putting my finger in between this, and I'm pushing and I'm moving it around and shit. So essentially, it would create like a twist, and you would keep twisting so that it would eventually adjust the teeth so that they're all straight. Essentially, right, what we could do is attach all these. You know, these would just be some little wires and shit, some strong ass wires, and we would connect them all to this thing. And so we would, and then it would be like a spiral. It would be like these will be all connected here, interconnect until it spirals. And so it would spiral into itself, so that as the wires get closer, yes, the land will get closer. And so that's essentially my idea. We get, you know, fuck, it's gonna take like 1 million people to do this. You know, why don't we get some convicts who can be I just remembered, redeemed. They can be redeemed, right? They murdered someone, but it was, you know, it was a setup. You know, none of them, you know, child likers, none of them non-consenters, you know, none of them, you know, serial murderers, but people who can be redeemed, right? Like the guy came into the country illegally and now he's here for life. You know, if he could, you know, he should just be freed. That was crazy. He could just be, let him go, bro. He came illegally because his country probably fucking sucked. Let him go. But like the guy who, you know, he murdered someone because he was, you know, smack talking, and he was shit talking his moms. So he upped the pole and shot them off. He could be redeemed because he was sliding for his moms. You know, have him here with, you know, a bunch of other people who don't really, you know, they're not really bad people, but they did bad things. They could be redeemed, and have them just pulling on this key, you know, 8 hours a day, no pay. Hold on, that was a bar. But we just have them, you know, and that's how they redeem themselves. So they'll be in the books. They'll make history. You know, all the while, you know, pleading their case why they shouldn't be in prison. And that's essentially my idea of unifying the world. Now, the only thing I could think of is like invasive species. You know, let's say like the North American chupacabra comes to Spain, right? And there's no North American chupacabra eater in anywhere but the North American chupacabra territory, right? And so normally, you know, the chupacabra will go on like a freight boat, cargo ship, and you know, its natural predator won't come with it most of the time. So these invasive species are allowed to just roam free because they have no natural predator on their new home. Now with this, essentially, oh, this is fucking with me, right? Essentially, we're bringing everything closer together. So the North American chupacabra might come to Spain. But guess what? The North American chupacabra eater is also coming to Spain, and you know, they'll just spread, and we'll get new species. That's a good thing. And the prey and their natural predator will just move around with them. So there will be no invasive species. And that's how we have world unification, you know, fuck war. You know, how do we, I don't fucking know. That's it.